Hi, everyone. Great to have you with us on the latest edition of Knicks in 6. Bill Pidto along with Kaz. Good to see you as always, Kaz. 75th anniversary of the NBA. Knicks played the first ever game in the history of the NBA. So, Kaz, we thought this would be a great time for me to pick my top 5 Knicks plus a 6th man, and for you to pick your top 5 Knicks and a 6th man. It's a draft, though. If I pick a guy, you can't take him. If you pick a guy, I can't take him. You ready?
All right. That makes it very interesting. I'm down. Let's do it.
All right. And the key here is going to be this first pick. So I'm going to flip a coin. You call it to see who gets the first pick. You ready?
That's right. Tails never fails. Call it.
You want tails?
Yes.
All right. I'm flipping it. And it is tails.
That's
and that's
right.
key. You get the first pick. Tails. Trust me.
Come on, man.
All
Tails
right,
never fails. So first pick in the 2021 All NBA 75th Anniversary Knicks draft. My number 1 pick is an easy one. Patrick Ewing, the center, number 33, number 1 overall pick, multi-time All-Star, dream teamer, Mr. New York Knick. Anytime I think of Patrick Ewing, I think of those huge arms, like he's hugging the city after getting over that hump against the Chicago Bulls and all the incredible memories he left us in the Garden. It's an easy pick for me. Patrick Ewing, the heart and soul of the team of my childhood, which is those 90s Knicks. The number 1 easy, Patrick Ewing with a bullet.
I'm kind of relieved you took Patrick number 1 because that allows me to take Clyde Frazier. I don't know who else you're going to put at point guard because there aren't a lot of other choices.
Not a lot. There's not a lot.
You know I'm really glad. No need to bring up Clyde's accolades. No need to talk about all that he's done and all that he still does for our network and the franchise. I'm really relieved, to be honest with you, that you went with Ewing first because I got Clyde as my point guard. I don't know who you got as your point guard, but I got the best point guard in the history of the Knicks, and that's not for debate. So I'm real happy. I got Clyde Frazier with my first pick.
You know, this is why you have all the seniority and the unfair advantage, right? You're much more cerebral than I am. I pick one with my heart. So the 3rd overall pick, the 2nd pick of my team, I'm going with another player from the Knicks of my youth, and I'm going with Allan Houston at shooting guard, another player who is still very much involved in the Knicks organization, somebody who looks like he can go out and get 15 points right now if you see him working out in the gym right now. But, sweet jump shot, gave us some incredible playoff moments, former All-Star as well. And he took the challenge of coming to New York and putting his city on his back. He absolutely did do that. You got the best point guard in Knicks history. I'm going to argue that I got the best shooting guard in Knicks history. So Allan Houston is my 2nd pick.
All right, I'm going with Melo now, and I'm going to leave it open as to where he plays, okay? I want Melo on my top 5. No question, given all he did as a Knick, he was absolutely fantastic. I'm going to reserve judgment on where Melo is going to play in my lineup, but I got Carmelo Anthony. So far I got Clyde and I got Melo, and you got a lot of problems right now, my brother.
All right, I got a lot of problems, but hear me out. Here's where I'm going with this one, all right? I can't get the best point guard in Knicks history, but what I can do is get the best point guard who's ever played for the Knicks, all right? So with that pick, my 3rd overall pick is Jason Kidd. All right, he didn't have a huge career as the New York Knicks, but when he was here, he absolutely made a difference in this Knicks lineup. Led the team, helped lead the team to a 50-win season, went to a pretty good playoff run. And when he was on the court, he was absolutely a coach on the floor. You see just everything cerebrally and everything he did on the court that didn't necessarily pop up in the stat sheets. He's somebody who just makes an offense sing, right? Like if you didn't see Jason Kidd in his prime, even like when he wasn't the athletic marvel that he was when he came into the league, you just saw how smart he was and the way he thought the game. And it wasn't, a big surprise when it turned out he was a pretty good head coach as well. So I'm gonna go with Jason Kidd as my point guard for my All 75 team.
I think that's you know what, I give you a lot of credit there. That's a great pick. When he was on the Knicks, they won the 54 games.
Yes.
That was the best year they've had in many with Mike Woodson. Melo was on that team, and Jason Kidd led the way. And when he retired, the Knicks fell off the next season. That's a great pick for you. All right, I got Melo, I got Clyde, and I'm going with Bernard King.
Ooh, Oh, how did Bernard King fall this far?
I got Melo. No question how great Bernard King was as a Knick. If not for that torn ACL, who knows how great he would have been. Even before he tore the ACL, he was just phenomenal as a Knick. So I have to figure out my lineup right now in terms of if I got Melo at the 3, Bernard at the 4, maybe I go Melo at the 2. But right now, I got a lot of scoring, Kaz, with Clyde, Melo, and Bernard King. Your pick.
Since you got two of the greatest scorers to ever pick up a basketball, I'm going to need some sort of defense. So at my power forward position, I am going with the one and only, God rest his soul, Anthony Mason. Great defender, gonna need somebody to body up Melo, body up Bernard King. And also, as much as a tough guy Anthony Mason was, great point forward, handled the ball very well, was always great to get the team involved. So if I got guys like Jason Kidd, Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason all on one team, that's a lot of cerebral basketball players, all right? So you got the buckets, but I got the basketball IQ is what I'm going to go with. So Anthony Mason at my power forward for my all-75 team.
Well, now I'm going with Willis Reed.
Oh, my goodness. You got all the legends.
Because you got
you got all the legends.
I don't care what you say. I got Willis, the captain, who had the remarkable career during the era when they won the 2 titles with Walt Frazier. And then I go with Melo and Bernard King. Man, I love my 4 so far, I'll tell you that. I don't need to go, obviously, into all that Willis Reed did for this team. He was the leader of the group that won 2 championships. He's got to be in my top 5 at some point. I'm not sure, again, about the lineup, but now I'm going with Willis Reed.
Bill, I'm calling an unfair advantage on you because I feel like you've got so much more seniority than I do, that the fact that I just let Willis Reed and Bernard King fall to you just speaks to the innocence of my youth. So I feel terrible. But I still feel very strongly about my 5th pick. My last pick, I'm going with somebody who got tons of buckets for the New York Knicks, helped lead them to the NBA Finals alongside Allan Houston. And I need me a slasher. I need somebody who go in there and get busy. I'm going with Latrell Spring at my small forward, somebody who was fearless, who played like a New Yorker, who played like somebody who would love to attack the rim, score, play defense. And again, another part of the New York Knicks family to this day. I love me some Spree. I got my braids in my hair for Spreewell as well. So I'm gonna go with my top 5: Spreewell, Ewing, Mason, Kidd, Houston. That's my starting 5. I know we got a 6-man to pick, but these are very, very important. I got to start off with that.
Kat, you do know the Knicks played before 1994, right?
It doesn't matter, okay? It does not matter. I'm an 80s baby, and I stick to my 80s babies, all right? So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, Pidto.
All right, I got to go with another Hall of Fame here. Hall of Famer going back in time to round out my starting 5, David Busher. Ooh. David Busher was the heart and soul in terms of the competitiveness of those championship teams. He's in the Hall of Fame. He could be a 4, a rugged forward in any era. Dave DeBusschere, Willis Reed, Clyde, Melo, and Bernard. My top 5. I like my top 5. I got a cross section of the history of this team. I'm very happy with my team. Now we got one more pick, but so far I'm really happy with my 5.
You have a pretty good team. I'm not gonna lie to you. You have a very good team, but I feel like my team is gonna come up with gumption and smarts and hustle, and a player that solidified all that. A team, you want to talk about players that could have played in any era. The guy who was extremely underrated in his entire career. How about David Lee? One-time All-Star, double-double machine, extremely active on the offensive and defensive boards. He was somebody who I got to watch every single night, go all in, go hard every single game. Play like somebody who, a city could be proud of. Somebody who dove, who worked hard, who could score as well, who could dunk on you, and looks very unassuming. But David Lee had some pretty serious bounce in his day. So I feel like my team's a little bit more new school than your team, Pidto. So I know you feel like you got a lot of the Hall of Famers and the legends, but I feel like my team got a little bit more new school flavor and just, the right amount of players to be ready to take on anybody. So who's your pick coming off the bench, Pidto?
All right, so I got Clyde right now. I'm playing Melo at the 2, Bernard at the 3, DeBusschere at the 4, and Reed up front. And off the bench, I need some versatility up front. I'm going with LJ, Larry Johnson.
Oh, I like that.
Now, Larry Johnson obviously had a great career, a little bit compromised as a Knick with the back problem, but he was another vital cog of those teams that you have represented so well, those near championship teams in the early to middle 90s. Larry Johnson's a key cog off the bench, gives me a lot of versatility. I also am not going to pick, but I want to give a shout out to Dick McGuire. A lot of people forget about him. He's in the Hall of Fame. His number 15 is retired, 7-time All-Star. Like Earl Monroe, he's got his 15 retired, but decisions have to be made. I'm going with LJ as my 6th man.
You know what it is? This is Knicks in 6, a very special edition of Knicks in 6. That is the one and only Bill Pidto. I'm Kaz, and Knicks fans, we'll see you soon right here on the MSG Networks page on YouTube.